Hello everybody, me again. This is just a bit wonky. Anyway, smoking Mahari's Sweet Orient cigars again today. I think these are my favourite. I really like the sweetness of the tobacco. Apologies for the very loud wind noise. Seems to be dusting up a gale out there today. I have a bit of bad news. Yesterday I got a phone call from the Department for Work and Pensions. They were calling me the results of my Fit for Work assessment that I had a while ago, which would determine if I was able to stay on disability. Unfortunately, they've determined that there is nothing stopping me from working. Apparently, the minimum score is 12 points. So the minimum of points you need to score in order to qualify is 12, and I scored 6. So they've just bumped me back down to job seekers allowance and left me to it, which personally I think is a load of shit, because one look at my employment history and anyone could see that I really struggle and can't cope in a work environment like a normal person is expected to. So there have been a few changes to the way the DWP deals with job seekers allowance claims. Now you have less time to find yourself a job before they say you need to start looking for things other than what you want, and so on and so forth. So basically, I've been left up shit creek without a paddle again. Now, I've done a bit of research, and apparently there are a lot of people with Asperger's and autistic spectrum disorder who struggle to pass the assessment, and what they have determined it to be, talking on forums and so on, is that when someone on the spectrum goes to an interview, we put on an interview face, an interview front, to make us appear professional and not capable / normal as possible. It's something that we just do when we're in those kind of formal situations. It's very difficult to not do that. And what they believe is the problem is the assessor sees this, and they get the impression that that's how we are all the time. And we come off as relatively capable, eloquent, cognizant, if that's the appropriate word I'm looking for. But we come off more normal when in an interview environment, because we've trained ourselves to do that, and they expect that to be the norm, because they take it at face value, but they don't realise that it's an effort to behave like that, and we can only do it for short periods of time. So you do it for your interview when you're going for a job, Everything's okay with that. They offer you the job. You keep up the front for a little while when you start working, but then after a while you just can't do it anymore, and you start behaving more like your normal self. And that's where our problem lies. Our normal selves. And the people who do the assessment don't see that. So what's going to happen is I'm going to request an appeal, which initially that would be someone else at the Department for Work and Pensions would look at the assessment results and decide if the results are appropriate. They probably will. I don't expect them to make a different decision, considering how far away I was from the threshold. But then again, there have been other people with Asperger's reporting that they've scored 0 points on these assessments. Damn it. Excuse me. Damn ash got blown in my face. Yeah, they'll look at it and they'll probably decide that, nothing needs to be done with regards to changing the decision. So then I lodge a formal appeal, which means that I basically get reassessed. And I've asked the woman at the council who, was talking to me, the autism support worker or whatever her title was, I can't remember. I've emailed her, and when I, hear from her again, I'll talk to her and I'll ask her when I have my next assessment if she can attend with me, because what I'm thinking is if you go to the assessment with support from someone who works at the council, you will come across as being less independent and capable than you would if you went on your own. And of course she can talk to them more in depth about it, because I don't believe that the woman who saw me for the assessment was had much knowledge about autism or Asperger's, and because this woman, her name's Paulette, because she's a specialist, she will be able to tell this person in greater detail the things that they need to know more than I can. Because obviously, as far as the woman who assessed me was concerned, I came across as relatively normal, which, as you all know, I'm not. I'm most certainly not normal, which is why I struggle to work so much. So, I've just come back from the job centre, and the whole time I was there, I just felt so annoyed and frustrated that I was back there again, when I thought that, I was finally done with all of that, and wouldn't have to worry about, looking for jobs or, being forced into work. I genuinely do feel like I've been hung out to dry. And it's not a nice feeling. I know that I am not capable of coping in a regular work environment. I would require very specific circumstances, I wouldn't exactly say a highly tuned environment necessarily, but an environment that's more suited to me, and sympathetic employer and co-workers. And in my experience, that sort of shit just doesn't come together. You know, I might have a good environment, but unsympathetic, employer. I might have a sympathetic employer, but a bad environment. And the likelihood of me finding that on my own is slim to none. So, yeah, I haven't got a hope in hell, really, of, finding gainful employment. So I really hope this appeal that I'm gonna set in motion actually helps, because at the end of the day, I'm just gonna have to go back to what I was doing before. Months and months of not being accepted for a job, then finally getting one, barely lasting a month, and then back to the job centre again, signing on for job seekers allowance, then hunting for more jobs again and again, over and over and over and over. It's really not a great position to be in. How the hell did that get over there? Apparently some ash blew all the way across the other side of the car. But yeah, I really, really don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, because I fucking hate being on job seekers allowance. It's terrible. It's having to go to the job centre every 2 weeks, and then after a while it's every week. And sometimes you get bloody stupid appointment times. Like one time I had an appointment at 8:30. Me, an insomniac, having to get up and go to an appointment at 8:30 is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to have to weather the storm for now, and hopefully Paulette will be able to help me get through the next assessment once I've got the appeal rolling, because I really do not want to have to go through what's been happening for the last 5 years again for the next 5 years, and then the 5 years after that, and so on and so forth. Really not a pleasant experience. Getting a job, and not long after that effectively getting sacked, either literally, getting fired or being told, sorry, we've realised that you're not suitable for this role and we want somebody else, bye, over and over. It really does crush your confidence. And because now I'm annoyed, angry and frustrated, when I eventually do get a job, it's not even going to be as, for the first few days or weeks, it's not even going to be as good as it used to be, because it's like, I know that it's like I know now that I'm going to fail whatever I try at, and it's like I wouldn't have the will to try anymore, because I've just been disappointed so much over the last 5 years that really can't be asked to go through it all again, because that's just what's going to happen. It's not the likelihood of me finding the right environment, the right employer and the right colleagues is so slim that it's almost non-existent. So I'm just going to be, muddling around, getting another job, finding it, pretty much unbearable, not being able to cope properly with it, and then, being sacked or let go, again and again and again. Not exactly a great outlook for me. Ignore that, that's just my Italian friend. I should have turned it on silent. But anyway, I'm just going to end it here, because it's getting to the stage where I'm scrabbling for words to describe how I feel, and it's getting me more frustrated. So yeah, be seeing you.